NBA sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the home of the Ravens. Sold out M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. For the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Corey Littleton. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From the gun, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down and 8. On play action, now Carr. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Well, Charles, you talk about this offense, and you think about the man in charge, their head coach, this marking his first ever playoff game as the head coach, and you wonder what's going through his mind right about now.
Brandon, I think we both agree that he's had a great season, and we wouldn't be surprised at all to see him get plenty of Coach of the Year votes. I thought he took the right tone in his weekly press conference, though. Played it cool, took the reserved angle, and when you don't have the track record, I think that's the exact right way to do it.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And the Ravens are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he will have a Ravens first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Always so many storylines when you're playing January football. And, Charles, you talk about this offense, their head coach, it's his first time in charge in the playoffs. And I think you and I were both kind of surprised by his demeanor and specifically his comments and his confidence at the press conference where he really all but guaranteed a victory.
Yeah, I was a little bit taken aback because you don't normally see that. And on one hand, it's like, all right, cool. He feels great about his team. But on the other hand, I don't think it's in his best interest to do that. How many playoff games has he won again, Brandon?
None.
So there's your answer right there. I guess what he was trying to do was fire up his team, but he has to make sure he doesn't fire up the other guys because there have been a lot of coaches who've made guarantees that are no longer coaching in this league.
That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
At the 43-yard line.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Now a play fake. Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now a first carry for their fullback. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And that's why that position was created. Big, powerful, strong guy who can carry the ball and plow forward. That's exactly why you have him on the field.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. A first down and more for Jacobs. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Josh Jacobs, 32 yards. And the Raiders will strike first here, this wild card matchup. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run on 1st down. Jacobs. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Ravens' 28. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jackson. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And that one drops down incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. And this a 39-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. That's caught by Galladay. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders are going to get the football here at their own 23.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here's 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that's caught. It's Brian Edwards. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Defers to Jacobs on the draw. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Carr now to throw. He gets it complete to Jackson. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 42. To throw is Carr. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
A 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And Carr's throw taken in here by Jackson. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Drake. And he stopped immediately there. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
At the Ravens' 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Carr. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
To throw, it's Carr. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. The final shot here before half for Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The kick by Carlson is good. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Plenty of adjustments likely being made by both teams in their respective locker rooms. To find out who advances to the divisional round, let's get you back out to Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Play action. Now it's Carr. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that is incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Carr. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Corey Littleton there on the tackle. 2nd and 10.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Darren Waller, 75 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And that is where Darren Waller really excels. He led all NFL tight ends in yards after the catch in 2020. Another nice effort here. Carr will look to throw. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown. Marquise Brown, 82 yards. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Now Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Carr. Flush to his right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Here's Carr to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflated. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, 1st down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Justin Houston, an 8-yard pickup. 1st down, Las Vegas.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On play action, it's Carr. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And a Across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. On the option, here's Drake. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? Carr to throw for it on 4th down. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play that time on 4th and 1.
Oh, I think we all understand his disappointment. He didn't quite get to the end zone, and you know it's just got to be tough to see a yard line underneath you after a play like that. Still, all in all, a huge play, and now they're set up 1st and goal at the 1.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's apparent the defense understands the situation. They have to keep them out of the end zone here. That's a great start by them. A loss on that play. Can they force them into a field goal attempt and still give their offense an opportunity?
On 2nd and goal, Carr flushed out right. And he's got Renfro in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work. Oh, Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off the play fake. Jackson being chased out left. He finds his man complete. It's Murray. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Jackson now. Steps away to his left. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And the Raiders Raiders are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Carr going to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. With it is Brown. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Jackson from the shotgun. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. That'll go for a gain of 7. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Bynes in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be fourth down.
Crunch time, defense.
Here we go. It's Jackson on fourth down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. Their season ends here, a tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it. And so now, how negative do you look at that? They got there, had an opportunity, and for some teams, they have to lose games like this before they learn how to win them in later seasons.